question from the community. It wasn't not necessarily a question as much as a compliment about one aspect of the card that I really want to hone in on, because it is a unique aspect, one of the many unique aspects of how and why conscious care cards are different from what else is out there. So what I have seen out there are pretty simplistic cards around emotions and or simplistic sentences to ways to talk, questions to ask your child about emotions. So these are different in that they're research-based, but they're also different in many aspects, and one of them being this bottom part of the card. So they're all 72 cards, have this bottom part asking you, for instance, this one is talking about gut feelings and really teaching your child that they have an inner compass. And you go through the script and you're doing all of that, but it's gonna ask you, share a personal example where listening to your own gut feelings helped you make a decision. And what were your specific physical sensations that you feel when you know you're getting a gut feeling or an intuition? This is a really important aspect of the conscious care cards, because what I'm asking you to do is to share your own interactions with your feelings and your emotions and your regulation and your resilience, putting words to that so that your child doesn't just think, oh, well, mommy or daddy, just because they're a grown adult, they must not have feelings or they must just know what to do. No, you're going to share the vulnerability and the humility that comes with struggling with our own emotions. Now, this is very different, very, very, very different from taking your feelings and putting them on your child. So what is the difference? The difference is you're not saying, I'm so tired or stressed or worried about the finances, or you're not putting your feelings on your child as much as you're quite literally sharing with your child your capacity to deal with your feelings. So you're still keeping it on your side of the street. You're not putting it on their side of the street, but you're sharing how it is in hopefully a very authentic way. Not like, yep, I got it, it's no problem, check the box, it's no big deal. But like, yeah, sometimes if we're gonna go with this one, I've ignored my gut feeling and it turned out it turned into a terrible decision, and I really wish I would have listened to my gut feeling 3 years ago, because that could have saved me a lot of time, right? That's said in a way that's not like, help me, but it's said in a way that's like, this is what I struggle with, and I have feelings too. This authenticity, this humility, and this window into your parents' emotional resilience actually is the glue for your bond. And so each of these cards, no matter what the category, is going to ask you to lean in. So for instance, the support supply box. So your feelings, you're building with art and papers, you're building a supply box for them when they need to cool down. But then you're also sharing what could be in your supply box. What happens to you when you know you need extra care or things are kind of feeling dysregulated? And then what do? You sharing that in a vulnerable way, and how, maybe you don't do it enough and then things get really escalated and you do things you regret. And so you've done that enough, that regret pattern, to know, okay, I gotta stop it here so I don't go to that height and have a regret later. And so learning that from you in a vulnerable way is the most powerful way to teach them about feelings. We're not lecturing. We're not shoulding. We're not saying, use your skills in this, like, what skills, right? We're saying, this is what I did, and I struggled with it. And then I figured out what really works for me. It really does work for me to leave the room and go to the bathroom and take my deep breaths and remind myself that I'll be okay. Oh, is that what you were doing when you go to the bathroom? I didn't know that. So these are your opening windows and linking your humanity and vulnerability in with your child in a way that's real, but not in a take care of my feelings kind of way.